In the 1860s, an American paleontologist found fossils near Pebas in the Peruvian Amazon. These fossils seemed unusual. They weren't that old, but they looked very different from the animals in the area. Some of the fossils even came from creatures that usually lived in saltier waters, which was strange because Pebas was far from the ocean, over 2,000 kilometers away. At that time, scientists didn't know that, 13 million years ago, the area wasn't a jungle. It was a massive wetland, the Pebas system, full of lakes and rivers. The ancient Amazon River didn't flow eastward toward the Atlantic like it does today. Instead, it flowed westward, away from the ocean. This raises questions: what did life look like when the Amazon River flowed backward? How did the direction of the river affect the animals living there? What could change such a large river's flow? It turns out, evolution can take strange paths when a river is pirated. The Amazon River is huge, with its drainage basin covering almost the entire width of South America. But, millions of years ago, South America wasn't shaped the way it is now. When the continent broke away from Africa, it pushed westward, causing the rivers to flow in the opposite direction, toward the Pacific. This continued until the Earth's climate started changing, around 55 million years ago. During this time, South America wasn't covered by the dense rainforest we see today. The western part of the continent had savannas with some forests near rivers. It was dry and cold because the Atlantic Ocean was narrow, and the winds carried moisture over the Pacific instead of the land. Then, about 23 million years ago, the Andes Mountains started to rise due to the collision of South America with oceanic plates. As the mountains grew taller, the continent's land began to sag, trapping the rivers in the interior. This created a massive wetland system called the Pebas. The area became a huge mix of lakes and swamps that stretched over 1 million square kilometers, as big as modern-day Egypt. At this time, the Earth was warming up, and the climate was hot and humid. The forests began to grow, and the animals had to adjust to the new environment. Species became isolated by the water, which led to a lot of new species evolving. In the Pebas, animals like opossums, crocodiles, and monkeys thrived. There were 7 different types of crocodilians, including Purosaurus, which was 10 meters long, longer than today's saltwater crocodile. Some crocodiles even had strange feeding habits, like Marascus, which may have fed on small fish by gulping water and filtering it, similar to a whale. The Pebas system eventually connected with the Caribbean Sea. Saltwater flowed into the wetlands, which helped explain the salt-loving mollusks found in fossils. But eventually, the Andes kept rising, and by about 10.5 million years ago, the rivers began to flow eastward, toward the Atlantic. This is known as river capture or river piracy, where the direction of a river is reversed. This new flow caused many of the species in the Pebas to go extinct, especially the giant crocodiles. As the rivers changed, new species began to thrive. The Amazon River system started to take shape, and more animals like capuchin monkeys spread across the continent. Today, we still see the effects of the ancient Pebas system. For example, dolphins and manatees still live in the rivers, and the soil contains nutrients from the time when the Caribbean waters flowed in.